Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dangerous Mondays. It's me, Dave Hughes. Welcome you to another Monday evening of Elite Dangerous Fun and Games. Or, more than anything else, games. Oh, I've actually not got my headset on. That's a bit stupid. Shall we try that again? Clearly not. What a doofus. Sitting here wiggling my head about. I haven't even got the bloody head tracker on. What a numpty. Pardon me a second while we sort out these little technical glitches. And there we go. Right, so I just... Oh, home isn't working now, great. Never mind, it's fine. It's fine, we'll manage. Well, if you insist. Is that better? Right, so okay, this evening then, first thing I want to do, I'm going to flip over to the main screen. To do a kind of announcement thing. Hang on, it's a music problem. There we go. Cool, right, so I'll do this intro thing then. Yeah, a bit of a brief advert. I'm going to keep kind of going, hey Tony, how you doing? But yeah, watch this. So there you are. That's what's going on soon, very soon. We had the last practice session for the game yesterday evening, yesterday afternoon / evening for me here, and the guys in America were on morning time. But yes, we're ready to play. We've had our last practice session. We're going to do a full campaign of Elite Encounters called The Ascended. Myself and the players listed there don't know what's actually going to happen. We are all mystified. Chaos himself is making the plot up. He's writing the story, and he is fairly satisfied that he's got a beat on how the characters are going to work. So we're all kind of looking forward to getting involved. There's been a few ups and downs as far as the kind of plot lining and the characterization and the system and so on. So we've got a few questions that are answered and a few issues that have been sorted out in terms of how to interpret the rules in certain ways. So it's quite exciting for me because this will be the first time I've actually played in a full campaign, or even kind of any officially structured game of my own RPG system. So I'm quite looking forward to it. It's been educational the last few weeks. I'm kind of seeing what's happening and how someone else looks at that kind of stuff. Bifford, when I've watched the video, I'll tell you I've watched it. Honestly, I will. You'll be the first one to know when I've watched it. Until that point, stop asking. I haven't just managed to put enough time together to manage it at the minute, so my apologies for that. But yeah, what was trying to prepare for this, doing some of the different things in sort of publishing land, other things in the house, Just not had time to spit at the minute. I've also been ill for the last 2 weeks, which hasn't helped. And I'm just kind of getting to the end of that now, hopefully. So, fingers crossed, we are on the mend, shall we say. Right, so I'm going to pop that off. And we'll get into game mode. So the plan for this evening is, as usual, some of the old flopping back and forward in the game. Is it just me, or does that camera look a bit wobbly? That's not looking healthy at all. I think it's off-centre is the least of its problems. The illness, I didn't get an illness while I was overseas. I had an illness before I went overseas. I actually got ill on the Friday before I was due to leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. On the Saturday. So I was ill the Friday afternoon. No, that camera just... Is it the camera image at the top? Is it actually working or is it choppy? Because I'm seeing one refresh every approximately 30 seconds. So that's not looking good at all.
On.
Choppy. Alright. So I'll turn it off then. We have no Dave Cam today. Did I minimise that controller again? Yes, I did. There we go. We're back. Right, okay. Fluffy Bon! Oh, it's been a while, mate. How are you doing? How's the head? Cold? Sorry, don't go... Bifford, I'm not going to move the camera image just because you say it needs to be moved. I've put it where I want to put it because it makes sense for my screen layout. If you don't like it, tough. He's been trying to look at the camera when it's not even on. Snob end! Colonia? Plot route. It did, it used to be at the bottom, and then I changed the layout. Now it's not at the bottom anymore. 418 jumps. Raise landing gear.
Gear coming up.
Nope, that won't work because nothing's mapped. I am still quite enjoying these lovely colours. Yeah, that's... I must admit, I've not had a ponytail long enough for it to make a difference. Or to make me want to do that kind of thing, but yes, I can imagine it would be a habit to get out of. But for anyone in the chat who doesn't know who Fluffy is, he's Steve Ashley, who did a charity head shave a couple of weeks ago for special effect, I believe. Is that right? As part of Game Blast. Very, very worthy causes, very, very worthy charity, very, very worthy convention style event. Just 1 second here, let me sort out my tablets that I've got to take again. And to all reports, raised a shit ton of money. And there you go, £223,883. That's a gobsmacking amount of money. I will point out that that entire £220,000 wasn't just for the head shave, although I think it's deserved anyway, but then I'm biased.
Gathering information, cartography updated.
Yeah, they're a very active bunch, the special effect guys. They're around everywhere and they go everywhere and do anything they can, and they do a hell of a lot of work. And they get a hell of a lot of funds raised for them as well, so it's great. Game Blast 2017 raised just over 100,000 and they smashed it on the first. Nice. It's always great to hear stuff like that. It really is brilliant to hear stuff like that. So yeah, so between
Scanning now.
quite a lot of things going on this week. Obviously there's the Game Blast thing, the special effect charity raising thing, all really good things. There's the Ellite Encounters game happening on Sundays as of Sunday coming. We have first session as well. I want to talk a bit about that this evening. And also we might have a special guest star popping in later on by the name of Colin Ford to talk about his new website. His new website project he's put together for people who are looking for different things in Elite or RPGs or games or stuff like that. So we're having a chat about that later on, hopefully, if he's going to pop in. And I'm hoping he's going to pop in around about 9. If not, then we'll just talk about it ourselves and I'll have a chat. I'm hoping I can get him on Skype and have a bit of an audio conversation with him if we can. Oh, there he is! Speak of the devil, and there he is! How are you doing, Colin? It's almost like he may have been listening.
Scanning.
Put the cat out. Once it's finished eating, obviously. Getting lots of feedback. Well, feedback on the site or feedback on the mic? Ah, good. Good feedback, I hope. Just that, I was asking about feedback on the mic because Bifford was complaining again that there was a humming noise on the microphone, so... That's the internet for you though, Colin, isn't it? People
Scan
like
for
it, people hate
information.
it, and you're never going to keep everyone happy. The important thing as far as I'm concerned is that someone has put the effort in to do something like this, which some people need, some people like the idea of, some people will find useful. And to be fair, if one person finds it useful, then that's pretty much a win in my book. So fuck them if they can't, if they don't like it. Are you up for popping onto Skype for a chat about it live rather than chatty? And you can wax lyrical about the awesomeness that is this site. And explain to the listening viewers what you've been up to. Answer for your crimes. About 9ish. Okie dokie, so that's still on a schedule. Nice one. And jump. But yes, so that's something to keep in tune for 9 o'clock, guys. It is a good bit of kit. It's a lovely site. It's going to be very useful. I've been looking forward to it going live. I've been lucky enough to test some of the beta stuff when he was putting it together, and it's a thing of beauty. It's lovely.
Compiling data for cartography.
Oh dear me. So we've got a few peeps on tonight, a few people working about in the background there, which is cool. What are you all up to? What have you all been up to this week? How has your week been? Come on, you lurkers, talk. Let's have some voices out there. Well, I'll say voices. Voices of pure text. Whee! A worthy cause, Garstini. A worthy cause indeed.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Playing through Samus Returns, Tony. Nice one. Fluffy one playing Slaying the Spire, Steam Early Access. Interesting. I had a rumour that if anybody likes a bit of the old platform and jumpy, shooty, fighty game, Devil May Cry is it called? Apparently it's free on Steam at the moment. If you do something through Amazon and Twitch. And I think Twitch and Amazon are partnered for stuff, aren't they? So apparently if you link something on Amazon in Twitch, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but you can get Devil May Cry free if you do something in Twitch. It's probably one of the promotions that they do now and again. Sorry, I can't tell you more. I just thought I'd bring it up and then realise I don't actually know what I'm talking about. That's pretty much standard for me, isn't it? Let me have a look, because that's actually quite curious.
Completing system scan for cartography.
Prime loot. If you're an Amazon Prime member, click on the crown and it appears to be free until April the 6th. Under Prime loot. That's over there, isn't it? It is indeed. Fortnite Twitch Prime. Fortnite in-game loot. Devil May Cry full game HD March 6th till April 6th. So yeah, if you are on Twitch Prime, then you've got the loot there. That's pretty cool shit. Free game basically. Just cause you're a Twitcher. Staring into space without jumping again. Good.
Gathering information. Cartography updated. Gathering information. Cartography updated. Completing system scan for cartography. Compiling data for cartography.
Sorry, I've gone very quiet, haven't I? I'm actually thinking, there's a couple of things going through my head at the minute. One of them is, obviously, I'm quite excited and full of trepidation about the upcoming Ellite Encounters game, which is going to be fun. I'm quite enjoying taking part. I'm pretty sure I'm going to quite enjoy taking part in that. I haven't role-played as a player for a long, long time. And obviously to do so for the first time after a while under my own game system with someone else running it is going to be quite a unique experience, I think. So I'm quite interested in that. It has been an interesting couple of weeks, finding different things out about the game and the way that it's played by other people and how people interpret things, and also, interestingly and slightly disappointingly, noting that I've missed a couple of things. One thing being that, obviously, Bifford being here is going to be quite interested in hearing that he perhaps missed something here, but it's quite a detailed thing that you wouldn't really notice unless you're actually playing it, is that the electroshock weaponry description paints a completely different picture to the weapon's function than the actual stats do. And all the descriptions of the weapons themselves as well don't actually make it any easier. So there's quite a fair bit of confusion over how electroshock weapons work. Now, the way that I'd envisioned them working was that they actually fired a bolt of electricity from the weapon, almost like a thin lightning bolt, to the target, and then earthed onto the target, which makes a fair bit of sense. But then I added a bit of descriptive writing in there that essentially says that it will ground itself to the nearest thing if anything gets in the way, which kind of makes it sound like you can't really do much.
Compiling data for cartography.
Am I right in thinking that's a neutron star? Or is it a white dwarf? Didn't see. It's a white dwarf. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think I was slightly divorced in my head between what was working in the system, what the weapons were meant to achieve, and that was kind of thought about in one separate bit, because I did all the stats and stuff quite early in the process, and then the descriptions kind of came later on. So this is one of the problems about writing a book over a certain amount of time, is you have a fair possibility that you may not link two things together that you've written yourself, and this has happened a couple of times so far, but this is by far the biggest one. And it was good old Malik VR, streamer extraordinaire, and apparently quite good role player as well, who pointed out that I'd made this mistake. Daddy Hoggy, good evening, son. Son? Good, you're older than I am. Or are you? Yeah, you are. I can't remember whether it's everybody I know in the role-playing, Elite world is older than me, or it's everybody I know at work that's older than me, but it's the other one. Yeah. I do wonder sometimes whether it'd be an interesting idea to get the first draft put into a professional format, like use the same format as the book, but actually have the first draft with all that additional stuff that got cut, and do a one-off copy of it for me. I could take to conventions and sort of say this is what could have been, but for not for public consumption, as it were, and just see how long it would take before Frontier killed me. But yeah, but that's the problem. I mean, the electroshock weapons kind of work the same way as laser weapons, but they have a different effect. And I didn't even write up the full effect of what actually happens with the weapon. And in order to I didn't put anything in that differentiated electroshock weapons from the way that laser weapons work. Now, the way that a taser works, which is the electroshock weapon,
updated.
the way that a taser should work is that it will cause you some immediate damage when you get hit by it, but the main thing it does is it incapacitates you. And although it says that in the writing, it doesn't actually give you a mechanic to go along with it. So obviously that's going to mean you need to have a kind of more with it GM in order to do all that kind of stuff. Give it 10 minutes or so, Colin, and we'll get on. We'll just get Skype ready. Where was I? That's thrown me. So what needed to be put in there was some kind of descriptive effect as to what happens or how to use the incapacitation thing. That if you get hit by it, then you're incapacitated for X amount of time. It doesn't say that. The grounding of the electrical bolts, or the lightning bolts that come from the weapon, is also a bit problematic in the description, because that kind of renders the weapon useless. So that if anything gets in between, or there's any metallic object between the person that's firing and the target, then there's a high chance that it could ground onto that instead. And the description makes that very, very open. What the hell is that? Strange. What earth is that? Audible Download Manager. What the hell is that open? Exit. For some reason Skype's open? So there's like 20 different things on the laptop open at the same time that shouldn't be open. That's bizarre as hell. Yeah, because exactly what I need is more drabbles from you. That would sort everything. So the entire book's just full of drabbles. So yeah, basically that's the problem I've got, is that there is a little bit of a discrepancy there. I need to try and address that in some way. One thing that I did leave open deliberately to interpretation was order of combat. And I've said it a couple of times in the book that it's up to the individual GM and group themselves how they organise that kind of thing, because I've always found in role-playing that no matter what system you use to try and organise your initiative or organise your order of combat, there's always going to be some kind of argument about it or how to do it. There's always going to be some kind of up and down kind of conversation about it.
Scanning.
So I suppose my concern, I'm not really worried about that in any sense. But that's something that can be sorted out by other players. That's the intent. But I am quite pissed off about this weapon, this electroshock weapon issue, because that is a significant emission. So I'm going to have to do something about that. So, anyway, right. Oh. Let's see then.
Gathering information, cartography updated.
Colin! Let's see if we can get this conversation going. Just let me skip around the start quickly. Well, as you say, the PDFs aren't a problem. I think my issue at the moment is that the print house is already committed to printing several copies and has some of the content already printed out, including the equipment section. So a lot of the main kind of non-colour pages are already done and sitting waiting to be bound. I don't really want to sit and ask them to do it again because we have had some issues with those so far. So not quite sure I want to go down that road just at this point in time. Hello, Colin.
Dave. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Absolutely fine. How are you?
Booyah! First time in there. Marvellous. I'm fine, yourself?
A little bit stressed, but fine.
Good, good. Right. We are live, by the way, so no swearing.
Oh, ball. Felber garb.
Yeah, so everyone on stream, well, please welcome with loud applause and gnashing of teeth, Colin Phoenix Defier Ford of Lave Radio fame, Elite Miniatures game fame, and many other bits of fame, as well as contributing shed loads of awesome stuff and getting me out of a big hole with the RPG. He is just an amazing chap and friend of this channel.
Hello.
So, welcome. So why is Colin on? Apart from just being a generally awesome person who I always want to have on this stream anyway. Well, what he has done is he's put together an awesomely cool website to allow people to come together from all over the Elite community and do various different things on this site. What I shall do is I'll bring up a window, I shall pop that onto the
Onto the stream.
onto the stream. Yeah, it's just it came up with an error. I thought I broke it.
What,
It's
again?
not now.
No.
Yeah, no. It was just I've had some weird connection things going on with the computer tonight. It just seems really slow at everything. I've restarted it and it just doesn't seem to want to load up pages. It doesn't seem to want to load up windows. But then when stuff like the actual streaming stuff is going fine, there's no drop things around it. Just the actual interface seems to be clunky. But anyway, I have it on screen, so I'm going to put it on the stream now.
Okay.
Window capture. I won't give it a fancy name, so I don't give a shit.
Well, at least you're having better luck than me with my streaming because OBS keeps on. I cannot stream Elite Dangerous now because it just
Wow.
hides it in the top left corner.
That's bizarre.
It is bizarre, and the only way to get around it apparently is to uninstall OBS and start again.
I had a feeling that's what they would suggest.
Yes.
It's always what you should do.
Oh, I see a very familiar looking website.
Yeah, so there it is. It is edwtrb.com, which stands for Elite Dangerous Wings, Trades, RPGs and Bounties. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Yep.
right.
Cool.
I was trying to stick with the good old sort of EDDB and EDDD type of website that we seem to have. Mostly it's just to annoy Shan on live radio because I said that his pronunciation of these websites sounds like Tweaky from Buck Rogers.
Okay, right. Well, do you want to take us through it then, Colin?
Well, certainly. I mean, obviously, we'll have to register you with a new account. So if you click on register, because everybody's going to have to register to start up. And we have, you put in your username, your commander name, obviously a password, an email, the platform that you normally run on, and the forum name and the Twitter handle. That's completely optional. The bounty opt-in is quite important, as I'm finding out, because the bounty option will allow you to either set bounties or be a target of player bounties that are set elsewhere in the on the website. Now, if you don't want to be a target, leave it blank. So you want to be a target, Dave?
I'm always a target. May as well carry on.
Right. I think your username has to be Selezen Lake, because I think there is already a Selezen account which we have to get rid of.
But that doesn't make any sense now. It's all different.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll sort you out. Don't worry.
Okay, let's try that again. Register. It's also already in use.
What is the DevWorks thing?
No, Selezen Lake.
Oh, for goodness sake. That should be fine.
No, it says already in use.
Oh, the commander name is right. Well, in that case,
Oh, the
put,
commander name. Oh, flipping heck.
it was like me taking through somebody earlier today. They were saying it's not working. I can't log in. And it turned out that they were typing in their email where the username should be. So I'm going to have to make a change to the login to allow both usernames and emails. Otherwise, everyone gets completely confused. Apparently, a little bit too confused.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Passwords must have at least one non-letter or digit character, for crying out loud.
Yeah, come on. It says so under there in orange.
Right, finally. Done. Remember, log in. Invalid login attempt.
What? Well, you've got Selezen Lake there, haven't you? It's remembered it from last time.
Hang on. Let me just do that. Log in. Success! Yay!
Yay! Oh, thank goodness for that. You had me in absolute panic there. I thought you were supposed to be a technical genius.
I am technical. Just not. I'm not a big fan of complex login procedures and complex account information and so on. I like to keep it simple, especially when I'm trying to do a stream. So I'm trying to do it quickly. I'm not reading all the messages coming up because I assume it's going to work in a certain way. But that's fine. It's not your fault. It's just me trying to do things quickly, not reading stuff. So anyway, there you go. That's how you log in. You have 15 attempts at logging in. You eventually get an account. So once you've done that. So once you've done that, you get access to all the different stuff that's in there. Now, you can look at all this stuff as far as I'm aware without logging in, am I right?
Yes, you can look in, but as soon as you start mucking about or want to add wings or do trades and stuff, you have to start using an account.
Right. Do you want to talk me through how to look through this stuff then?
Okay. What we'll do is we'll go to the RPG matches straight away because that's what everybody really would like to see.
Yeah, obviously. The rest of it's just superfluous.
And it's your fault for this thing existing in the first place, by the way.
I had a feeling it might be.
Yeah, because basically there's me going, well, I've got this wings matcher, and you went, oh, pity you don't have something similar for RPGs. And I went, actually, it wouldn't be that difficult to put in. Ta-da! There you go. So at this moment here, you can actually look for certain groups that are there. Those are all the groups which are in existence, whether or not they've been abandoned or whether or not people are actually looking. So if you want to, you can create your own group to start up with, which is the big green thing up in the right hand corner.
I've done it.
This is the thing about the stream, because the stream is a lot slower, and it's quite simple. Put in your group game, put in your game. One thing that I would say is that for location, don't put in your home address. Just say somewhere in Leeds or somewhere in Derby. And you've got the option there of actually having it as an online game. So you could just say, right, okay, we'll do that roll 20 every Friday. And once you set that up, that means it's valid for 28 days for the site, so that people will see that this is a group ready to be set up for people to join.
Okay, so there we go. So that sets up. I click on details. I've got the information there.
Yep. So you click on the details, and so everything's all happy and Larry. Now what I'm going to do is if you come out of there and back to the list, from my version of this, I will go to the RP matcher, I will go to details, and I will add myself to the group, but I won't add myself as a game master. Now if you go back to your game details or RPG group details,
yeah,
you should see me added to your group.
I do indeed.
And basically what happens here is that people add themselves to the group or remove themselves from the group until basically you're happy with the group size, and you then mark the group as complete, and that's it. And it's then up to you to basically arrange when to play and things like that. It's one of the reasons why I put the Twitter link in there, so that people can communicate over Twitter or over the forums and things like that, so that there is another avenue for communication. I'm looking at putting Discord in at a later point, but I didn't have time to look up the API on that.
That's a clever idea. One thing I will say is that when you've got a thing for starting commander and game master with ticky boxes, every time I put my little mousey over it, it comes up with a no entry sign.
Yeah,
so am I not allowed to edit that? No, so I'm not allowed to set that
no.
information. Okay.
No, you can kick people from the group, but if someone does join, they've got the ability to say, no, I'll take it as a game master. And once that happens, you will be able to take that game mastership back if you want.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah. So you can see there. You can mark the group as full, and if you mark the group as full, then that's it. The group is assumed to be full. It's assumed to be running, and once everybody's had a good time doing it, then effectively you can see there it says running. So you can click on that, saying that the game is again, the group is in progress.
Right.
And then at the end of that, you mark the group as complete, and then everybody's allowed to give feedback on how they thought the group went, which goes back to your commander standing, or your account standing. It's like feedback on eBay. So basically, the better you are using the website, then, or the better you are with people say, oh yeah, he's a good bloke. That's going to take a little while to take up. That's the first time it's running. It's the first ASP.NET run, which always takes ages. I should really run through the whole site just so the feedback thing isn't working. Okay, that's one for the bug list then.
Yep. Yeah, here comes the 3 blank lines at the top there.
Well, I better close that down for the moment. I'll look into that.
And Bifford's, as usual, 30 seconds behind me. If you have a game that's running and then you lose a player, is there any way of advertising for new players to replace?
No, not really at the moment, because once this is marked as running, that's really it. It's assumed that everybody's in it. If they want to do that, then I'm afraid you have to mark the group as complete and start again.
Right, okay, that's fine. It's very good though, it's very versatile, it's a good idea, it's good, a lot of stuff you can stick in there. But yeah, I like it. So what about the rest of it then?
Right, okay, well quickly, the rest of it is all supposed to be in-game tools really that I feel is a little bit missing from Elite Dangerous at the moment. They'll probably put it in at some point. But we have Wings, which is a smaller version of the RPG groups. Basically, you put in saying, I'm a wing leader, this is the kind of mission that I'd like a wing for. Does anybody want to join me? And of course people will then add themselves to that group if they want to. And once the group is full, then it's marked and assumed that everybody is playing. So it follows very, very similar, the same lines as the RPG Matcher. And then we have trades, which is kind of like eBay for Elite. We have basically someone can say, right, I want to get rid. Feedback in Wings does work. Well, okay, Bifford, well, I'll have to find out why it's not working in the RPG Matcher. It should be. I do apologise.
He's got his testing head on today, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to, like I said, that's the first thing to look at next.
Alright, but provide feedback on the functionality of the website outside this discussion, please. Your efforts are appreciated, but they're not really.
I'm getting distracted. You know, that one moment where I've got it all planned. Someone says something, you go, oh, I've lost it all.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have the trades, which is basically like eBay for Elite, as we were saying. So commanders can set up trades saying, okay, I've got this much I want to sell people, I will trade it for this much of a different commodity. You know, because you can transfer credits in game, the closest you get is being able to barter. So it works like that. You get 7 days for an auction, people bid on it, and then it's up to the players to exchange the commodities at the end. And then you have finally the bounties section, which is turning out to be a little bit good one for luck, thank you very much. So yeah,
kill the Ben. I'm up for that.
Kill the Ben. I think Ben's not being killed actually. Yeah, we did find one problem with So you can see Commander Thane got him in Ridiquat.
Yeah, whatever radio quat is. Nice.
Yeah.
So I take it that's not a. Is it an in-game thing where you can set? I take it you can't set a bounty for somebody in-game. It's just a bit of fun on the website to say like you can set a bounty for somebody on the page, and then say you can earn credits in this website, but not in the actual game doing that. Is that right?
Well, no, you can. The idea is that this is to provide a missing bounty board function in the game. So
Right.
that's why I've said it's important that you mark the bounty option opt-in, because if people see that you've got the bounty opt-in working, then basically you could become a target commander, and that could lead to salt in the game, if you see what I mean. But as long as people realise that, you know, if you've marked for the bounty opt-in, then you're that you could be a target, then, you know, you've made your bed, you lie in it.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
The idea being, of course, is that, you know, I'm hoping that some of the more naughty people think, well, I could get some more PvP action coming this way, so I'll be naughty.
Yeah.
But someone will set a bounty against me, and I will have all these people coming after me. And anybody can leave a bounty tip, which is basically a way of, because there's no tracking of other people, you can leave a bounty tip to say, right, okay, I've spotted so-and-so in the diesel system, or I've spotted him in Lave. So people they can crowdsource I don't know, a bread trail to track up with them. So there you go.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Like
and
you
of
say,
course,
I can see why it's got some positives and negatives to it from people that have given you feedback so far. But it just if you, as long as you make sure it's well advertised as to what it is, then I can't see anybody really having a particular problem with it.
well, I put some extra things in there as well. First of all, you cannot set a bounty on a commander who's already got an active bounty against them.
Yeah.
Okay, and also there's a 7-day cooldown period from when the bounty ends, so you can't set a bounty on a commander who's just been claimed, if you see what I mean.
Right. Yeah. Got it.
So, you know, it's kind of will stop the hopefully it will stop a mob mentality where people just say, right, okay, let's go after this person here because they've been bad, because it could be used by other people to say, oh, we don't like him anyway.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, it could be used for targeted griefing, and I want to try and avoid that.
Right. Yeah. That's well thought out. I think it's definitely an interesting feature. I think it's something that could be quite fun. Like you say, I think someone mentioned it'd be a good thing for in-game roleplay. Yeah, Garzini said that a little while ago. So it'll fuel some stories hopefully within the game and fuel some PvP action for people who like that sort of thing.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yep. Yeah, I've just seen that I'm in there as well. So you want all the EE to be yours? That's fine. You can have it. Pain in the arse it's been given me the last couple of weeks. You can have it. I'll give you the 300 gold for it as well. No, that's great. No, that's a great job, mate. That's impressive. And you've got a little other section in here as well for Sanctimonious stories.
Yes, well, the Sanctimonious stories are basically that's the fiction that I've been writing on the forums for God knows how long.
Yeah.
There's a little explanation. So there's going to be about 5 or 6 of these short stories, and the character profiles are still under development. So at the moment, I'm actually using the RPG Ellite Encounters and the EDRPG to create obviously character sheets that people can see what these characters are like. I'm also thinking of commissioning some artwork for the characters as well, but let's just see how. I think the Elite miniatures thing is costing me a fortune at the moment, so there's not much spare cash. So,
Well,
yeah.
if anybody out there has an artistic tendency about them and be willing to do a bit of a favour for Colin, then by all means get in touch with him. I'm sure he'll be quite happy.
Oh, I notice a certain commander has signed up, so we don't have to. Oh, good. Mr. Witherspoon's in. Quick, set a bounty on him. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Garzini, yeah, Top Shift 100 still in production, and yes, it's over 2 hours long at the moment. So I do apologise for the delay.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Colin about his website or his stuff or anything else about Top Shift that you want to ask him while he's online? Because it's always great to have Colin on. He doesn't come on very often because he's a very busy man, the busy family life, like many of us do. But it's great to have you on, mate. It's been a while since I spoke to you, so it's great to hear from you again anyway.
Yeah, so hopefully, well, I won't be down to the ECM as they're calling it now, because I'll be in. I don't know where I'll be at the time. Probably at 35,000 feet.
Ah.
So, but yeah, hopefully LaveCon and maybe FantasticCon as well.
Cool.
If you are heading there yourself.
Well, I'm not going to be at ECM because I can't afford it at the moment. I'm not going to be at LaveCon because there are a few things around about that I need to do as well, including a Comic-Con in Derby to try and push the book. So I would rather prioritise that at the moment than prioritise another Elite-specific event. So this year my only Elite-related convention appearance is going to be at Fantasticon, I think.
Right then, we'll definitely have to sort something out for that then.
Definitely. And it might be worth having a bit of a chat at some point about putting together a bit of an RPG/miniatures game session and get it officially scheduled into Dan's plans for that, if you're going to be there.
Yeah,
I would quite like to do that.
Do the Bounty State, Garzini's asking a question, will the Bounty State go to expired when the Bounty Date ends as reached? Yes. You've got 7 days, it ends at midnight, so once you have set your bounty, that's it. You're locked in for 7 days. If it's not claimed by then, it goes to expired, and you cannot set another bounty on that other person, on that target, for another 7 days.
Cool.
So, there you go. I mean, surprisingly for 6 months' work, there's not much to it.
I'm sure there's a lot in the background that makes it work that's a lot more impressive than what you think it looks like. But given the amount of programming that must go into the background of that's a good bit of work, mate. That is quite impressive. So yeah, well done on that. And I hope it takes off. I hope we manage to get some publicity out there and people start using it. But I've put an alert thing into the Nightbot on the chat that it should pop up a link to the site and some information about it as well. So hopefully that'll help you get some targets.
And every little bit helps.
Indeed. Okay, anyone else, any more questions? I'll give it 30 seconds for that, but in the meantime what I'll do is I'll say thank you for popping on, Colin.
Okay, thank you.
I hope I'll get back to flying around and we can continue to converse in chat if you want.
Yeah, I've got until the end of Pretty Little Liars, which is happening in the next room. Show the reputation area. Oh yes, of course. If you go into your commander, click on Hello Selezen Lake. I'll put my teeth back in. There you are. You have all your feedback. You'll be able to see from there. So you'll have feedback from other commanders, feedback from wings, feedback from trays, the RPGs, and the bounties. And this will also give you the ability to change your passwords and view full commander details and things. There'll be messaging stuff coming in later where you can be able to message commanders directly. And you did it on the wrong Selezen. So there you can see you've clicked on the RPGs and your bounties. You've now got a bounty listed against you by Bifford, and you've also got an RPG set up in your name as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if you start to get feedback, there'll be a section later down which will actually show you the feedback connected with the bounties or with the RPGs. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, there you go. It's going to be difficult to catch you, I would have thought, because you're a long way away from the bubble, aren't you?
At the moment, yeah. Plus, which I'm always in my own private group, so it's going to be difficult to find me unless someone sneaks into the group.
Oh, that is one last thing I should say is that if you, for instance, if you do set a bounty against a commander, if they stay and hide in Mobius, then they're basically off limits because Mobius is no PvP at all. It's whatever the private group rules are. trump. So if someone goes and hides in that, then tough. Sorry. It's the same as them hiding in solo. You really shouldn't. And if you do, I will take sanctions against you. So, which will probably mean you get massive amount of negative rep.
Fair enough. Is there a way to track that reputation? Do you have like a tracking amount for it, or
yeah?
Is that your total rating? I would assume.
Yeah, if you go into
it's there.
Yes, it's right there. See, you've got your positive rating, you've got your negative rating, your neutral rating, and your total rating.
Yeah. Cool. That's nice. Yeah. There's a lot to it. Every time I open a page, I'm seeing something different. So I've got reputation there as well.
Yeah, I do. If you click on view, you'll see who it's by.
It's probably Bifford. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
big surprise. Snarky loves snarky.
There you go.
Nice. All right. Well, no other questions have come in, so I'm gonna pause it there and say thank you for popping on, Colin. And if you have any other news about the site or any expansions you want to do, then let us know you've done them, and I'll pop them on and I'll discuss them. But that's great. Thank you very much.
Okay then. Cheers, Dave. I'll catch you later.
Have a good night. Take care of yourself, dude.
And you, mate. Bye.
Bye. Well, big thank you there to Colin for popping online. I hope you enjoyed that. It's an interesting site. I think it's got a lot of potential. It looks there's a lot of stuff in that already. The RPG matcher is quite an interesting thing from my point of view, because obviously it's something that we've discussed before, and obviously now he's put that on there because I mentioned something about it a few weeks ago, and he wanted to add it into what we're doing, so it's great. The wings, trades and bounties, I think the wings and trades are a great feature, a great thing that people could do with, if you've got stuff you want to sell off, or you've got a hold full of crap you want to get rid of, then it's a great way to do that. What we need to do is try and push publicity for the website, push it in the community, push it in the forums, push it through the different player groups that are maybe on Twitch and stuff like that, and get people using it and get people involved, because it's a great idea. The bounties thing, as I said, it's an interesting idea. It's not the kind of thing that I tend to do, because I'm not a big PvP player anyway, but I do understand the interest and the positivity that some people can get from it. And as was said by Garzini, it does push player stories, so your player interaction and your player role-playing facility can get pushed through that as well. So it's a great little tool for that kind of stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I think it's awesome as it is. I think it's got a huge potential for expansion. Obviously Colin with the motivation to do that. If people are interested in it and people are targeting it and pushing it forward, then obviously the more Colin's likely to expand that stuff and spend the time to do it. But yeah, so push it if you can. If you guys do streaming, or you guys go into other people's streams, then please mention it. Push it wherever you can. Grab the link from that page there. It's www.edwtrb.com. And I've not seen any of my things pop up actually at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off my window capture now, hide that window, and I'm just going to check Nightbot and just make sure I've activated those tickers. So 1 second. Log in. Timers. Well, they are enabled. Because nothing's popped up yet, that's weird. Nightbot appears to have stopped working, which is odd. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my timers, they don't seem to want to work. That's enabled. That's enabled, that's enabled, that's enabled. Okay. Hopefully now that I've activated it on there, it should pop up. But yeah, so as I say, go into that if you can. It's awesome. It's going to be great. So, so that's the two main things I wanted to discuss tonight. We've got Colin's website, which I think is amazing. It's an amazing idea with a lot of potential, a lot of functionality built in from the start. Jesus, I can't word today. And the RPG session that's happening on a Sunday as of this weekend. That's the two big things going on. Other than that, it's just playing Elite and having a chill out session and a chat with whoever wants to pop in and have a chat. So. Yeah, on the note of conventions, my convention attendance for this year is slightly off to one side of what's been done for the last 4 or 5 years. Now that the RPG is out, I'm very aware of the fact that I've pushed it for 4 years among the Elite community to the point of potential saturation, I think. So I am trying to kind of branch out into different types of convention that would support selling the game kind of live to a different collection of people. What's the word I'm looking for there? A different demographic, shall we say. So rather than focusing on the Elite community, I want to focus on RPG communities, gaming communities, Comic Con type of communities, so other convention goers who will overlap with the sci-fi gaming world. So hence, there was a plan to go to Burton Comic Con at the end of February there, but unfortunately that convention coincided with the day I came back from India. So given the fact that I was probably in no condition to actually go due to jet lag and tiredness and lack of prep and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't possible for me to go. So I've provisionally cancelled that booking and pushed that to next year. So hopefully next year I'll be at Burton Comic Con, which is only a couple of miles up the road, so that's fine. The conversation that I just had with Colin about LaveCon, I mean, LaveCon is obviously one of the more important ones to me because it was one of the first ones. It was the first one essentially that we got involved with, and it does hold a special place in my heart. But there are a few things that make me kind of reticent to go there this year. Main thing being that Derby Comic Con, when obviously I live in Derby, so Derby Comic Con is like a 2-minute bus journey at the Roundhouse in Derby, and that's on the week before LaveCon would be happening. So I've kind of had to prioritise that because again, that's my local area. I would like to be able to go to be able to push it in the local area and kind of push it as a homegrown system. For the people in and around Derby and Derbyshire, and just see what's going to be. I mean, the guest list for Derby Comic Con is quite impressive actually. Quite a lot of Red Dwarf stars are going to be there, including, as far as I'm aware, Hattie Hayridge and Norman Lovett, if I remember rightly, who both have voiced HCS voice packs over the last couple of years. So that will be an interesting thing to do. The other thing that kind of gets in the way of, or has to be considered when doing the Comic Cons, is that I'm hoping to sell hard copies of the RPG. So one of the things that I'm looking into doing at the moment is negotiating costs for doing a certain amount of hard copy books. Some to take to the Comic Con and sell, and some to have as copies to be sold to the community at large. Now, given that we have quite a lot of oh god, my throat is dry now. Given that we have quite a lot of demand for the book as a hard copy, I'm hoping that there shouldn't be any issues with selling the copies once I get them made up. If I don't sell any at the Comic Cons, then obviously they'll be available for sale on the website, and obviously here through my potentially selling on the stream, maybe, I don't know, or giving away or whatever, or at least advertising on the stream anyway. Daddy Huggy, still hoping to introduce EE to the Defence Academy Wargaming Society once I'm back to work properly. That'd be awesome if you could, John. That'd be fantastic. But again, You are trying to get yourself back to working well again, so focus on that first, please. Don't be stressing about me, as okay. So yeah, so the only thing that I've not been able to plan far enough in advance for ECM, or Elite Community Meet, or Elite Meet as it used to be called. Essentially because the India thing, a few costs we've had, a few things we've had to get done this year so far, and just trying to get everything back on a level playing field after expenditures from Christmas and last year. So short notice things tend to be a bit difficult for me to manage at the moment.
System scan for
And unfortunately, Elite Community Meets schedule just came in too late for me to be able to put any budget aside for. And of course this time of year is the worst time of year for me because we've got birthdays up the wazoo. We've got 2 grandkids with birthdays, my brother's birthday, my wayward stepson's birthday, so we have these things to plan for and sort out as well, so it's not easy. And Mother's Day, obviously, we have to pay 50 odd quid to spend to tell your mum you love her. Obviously all these card based holidays. But yeah, so just financially ECM isn't possible this year. LaveCon scheduling has to have been changed around a bit so that I can deal with my own needs as far as marketing and sales are concerned, which leaves Fantasticon. So essentially all my Elite community involvement this year is going to be packaged into one big blowout in September, or is it end of October this year? I mean, I have to be honest about it. I mean, in terms of conventions that I enjoy going to, I love going to all of them, but over the last couple of years, I've honestly got to admit I've had the most fun at Fantasticon because it's not too restrictive in terms of what you can do. LaveCon is very, very structured, and it's an organisational marvel. The amount of organisation, planning and work that goes into doing a LaveCon is way, way, way out and above what the other conventions manage. And that is a feat in itself, but my own feelings on it are that I prefer the slightly more informal gathering, and I think Fantasticon just ticks that box for me. Dan and Gabby bend over backwards to make sure everything works, but they do it in such a way that it still feels like it's a family get together, and it just seems, I'm not going to say friendly because that's not right, it just seems less formal. I think that's the only way I can really put it. And I have the last couple of years when I've been at both conventions, I've actually had more fun at Fantasticon, and I've had more. There's been more to do at LaveCons because your day is filled up. There are 3 or 4 different things going on at the same time, and I think that's the thing I get, is that I feel like I'm missing 2/3 of what I could be experiencing when I'm at a LaveCon because there's so many different things on, and I just want to see all of it because I'm a bit of a control freak that way. But at Fantasticon there's 2 or 3 things going on, usually 2 official things and a couple of informal stuff kicking off in the background, and everyone's free to kind of do what they want as well, and I prefer that feel. And it's just kind of what in terms of what I prefer to do, it's worked out well for me this year that Fantasticon's the only one that's in a gap in the year that I can manage to get to. So I'm hoping Fantasticon is going to have a box or 2 of Elite Encounters RPG books that I can sell. That'll be great. I mean, it's all going to be based on how much I can push the book this year. Q1 and Q2 of this year, so we're kind of coming into Q2 now, have been targeted at getting the Kickstarter hard copies organised, proofed, checked, fixed, and then sent out. So once that's done I can focus on the rest of it. Once I've got the delivery of the books sorted, they're going to get handed over to the wife and her carer to be sent out. So I'm not taking care of the delivery side of it myself. I'm going to give that to someone else to do, so it might actually get done, because I know I have a horrendously bad reputation in terms of delivering physical items from these towers of mine. So I think quite rightly, I'm going to leave it in someone else's hands. And while that's going on, I can then sort out the remainder of what needs to get sorted out in terms of other hard copy acquisitions and other online stuff that needs to get done. So I can actually focus on getting the EPUB and the Kindle version finished and put online, which is again something that is sadly lacking at the moment because of other things that have kind of taken over. I'll be honest, my day job is getting to the point where it's taken over my entire life right now. If I'm not actually actively doing something in relation to it, I'm worrying about it. So I need to get to a point where I'm out of that way of thinking and get back into the work-life balance that I need to be in. So yeah, once I get things back on even keel there, then we shall see where things go. Oh no, you dick. Excuse me 1 second, I'm going to put the fan on. Apologies for that. So yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that what I've said there isn't putting any kind of negativity onto the efforts that Colin and Fozza and Karen and everybody else at Lave Radio kind of put into these events. Because I mean, LaveCon, as I say, it's an organisational miracle. It's brilliant. I mean, the stuff that goes on there, so much diversity, so much of us spread on different things, and all based around four guys who shared a hard drive at one point. Interesting. Calibration's gone off again on the joystick. Just 1 second. Put the cat out. Another thing to actually kind of worry about as well is whether or not Frontier are going to do any interesting things this year. Whether they're going to do some another expo this year or another event tagged onto the back of that, or if they're going to do a launch event for other games.
Completing system scan for cartography.
Or how well Jurassic Park is going to go this year. Jurassic World, sorry. Neutron star next. Shall I do a neutron star supercharge?
Scanning now.
activated.
Yay! $113.48. I tried the White Dwarf and I couldn't get it to work actually. Booyah!
Scanning now.
Can I select neutron stars from here? Doesn't have one, does it? Oh well, never mind. Colonia. Woo! That saved me jump. That saved me loads of stuff. Non-sequence. Yeah, I saw non-sequencers. I didn't know if that was neutron stars or not. Alright, there's a couple of people, there's a dozen people online at the minute on this chat. HCS voice packs, right? I've been using them for a while, but they've just gone through a major update with the release of Beyond and added some new functionality. What I'd like to ask, if anybody has any idea out there, is that with the new versions of HES voice packs, does anybody know if it's possible to bind your keys using an automated command? Because in previous versions you had the command import my bindings. That now does not work anymore. So I was wondering if there's an alternative, or if there's a way of enabling that command again. So if anybody knows, let me know. If not, then I'll do a bit of research as soon as I get some time. Because I just don't fancy doing the whole manual import. And it just seems a bit of an odd thing to remove.
Compiling data for cartography.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Do you know, I've not seen or heard Fiery Toad for ages. I used to watch his streams all the time, I just don't seem to have the time, because he usually streams during the day when I'm at work. And I don't have the time at work anymore to be able to sit and watch a stream while I'm working, because there's a hell of a lot of focus needed now on work. A hell of a lot more than there used to be. Oh, starting to flag a bit.
Scanning for information.
It just is a Saturday now. Oh, that's a surprise. I'm going to assume he's got a day job himself now. If that's the case. I know he was trying for a long time to get streaming to be his day job, but I don't think he managed to do it before his financial time ran out, shall we say. For HCS, yeah, I know he's working for HCS, but is he doing that as an official day job? But he's not streaming as part of it.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Okay, how risky is this? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm risking, isn't it? I'm actually thinking, so if that, I can do that on about a fifth of a tank of fuel, right, for one neutron star jump. So there's one there. So that's my first jump. Can fuel there. That takes me to my first neutron star. That's 142. So that's a jump of about 80. Then a jump of another 100. No, I don't think I do. I think I checked that last week. And then I've got my refuel point there. Then one jump, very small jump to that neutron star. 3, 4, 7. So that's another 90. That's 400. 515. So that's another 80. Another one there. It looks like it's actually bunched me out, so it's got me a refueling point on the way each time I need one. This might work. Should we give this a go? Let's experiment with it. Let's see where we can go with it. So we're plotted in to Colonia using a neutron star boost jump route. So that gives me 140 jumps. Okay then, Bifford, that sounds like a good plan. If you are tired, then bedtime is a good plan. You're going to miss the exciting thing now. The last 50 minutes I'm going to experiment with a neutron star plotted route. I'm bricking it for this light. Shall we then? Good night to you, Bifford. Thank you for popping in again. A pleasure as always. And I'll see you next week, if not before. I'll try and get an opportunity to look at that video this week, honestly. Could you, if you're still there, can you Facebook me the link to the download again? Save me hunting through your history for it.
Scanning.
I think he just did, so thank you for that. Ew. I get it. Apart from the fact you didn't spell it right. Well, neutron, like, you did spell it right, sorry, my mistake. I'm getting a bit tired as well. Hence why I'm making silly decisions like trying to neutron jump the rest of this route.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
See you, dude. Take care.
Compiling data for cartography.
Are there any utilities around that can actually tell you what the distances are between the route you've plotted? Like, does your journal hold that information? So does it hold your route so that you
Scanning
can
now.
investigate it? So it'd be nice to have like a bit of paper that tells me, or something I could print out that would tell me exactly what is each place I'm going to visit, and whether it's in range, etc. Alright, fully fueled. I know there's a few route plotters out there that might be useful for that kind of thing, but I don't know.
I am here.
Standing by. Reporting for duty.
Gathering information.
here.
Cartography updated. Scanning for information. Scanning.
Here we go.
Scanning for information.
Breaching drive operating beyond safety limits. Breaching drive operating beyond safety limits. Boost activated.
Scanning now.
Breaching drive operating beyond safety limits. Boost activated.
Well, this is working quite well so far. I'm using a very small amount of fuel to do these little jumps, which is nice.
Scanning.
And from what I've seen of the first little bit of this journey, I've got quite a few refuelable stars in between jumps, so strategic points where I can refuel just a couple of jumps on yellow suns and back into the neutron stars. So, you know, as you can see from the jumps, I mean, that's cut it down from 400 jumps to 139. That's not bad at all. Now, I've just jumped 200 and a bit light years. 220, 230 light years in 2 jumps. In 3 jumps. That's not bad. Yes, I agree. It's very impressive to watch. It's actually quite... It actually gives me a little bit of an anxiety attack when I go into the plume. It gives me a little bit of a heart-thumping moment when I do it. It's quite interesting. It's interesting how visceral this game's experience can be sometimes. When you do something new and you know you're taking a risk, you actually do get that kind of adrenaline rush. It's quite nice. It's unusual for a game to do that. It's just an idea of how immersive this game actually is, I think. Especially on the big screen, which does help. Let's go full tank of gas. So what I'll do is when the tank gets below halfway. Alright, Daddy Huggy, have a good one. Take care of yourself and fly safe, dude. Oh, I don't think I could
Completing
cope with it in
system scan
VR.
for cartography.
I'd shit my pants. I've not seen it. I have been told by others it is a good thing to watch.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift boost activated.
I'll give it a watch. It does keep popping up on my suggested things to watch list on YouTube, I must admit. So I'll give it a watch, I think.
Scanning for information.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive boost activated.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift boost activated.
Scanning now.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Boost activated.
Look at that. Halfway down the tank of gas and I'm on a yellow star. That's working out pretty well so far. I'll keep an eye on that as I do this trip. So if it does that automatically, like it knows when I need to refuel, or make sure I've got something and I can refuel that before I get low, then this could be actually quite an easy trip to make.
Completing system scan for cartography.
I'm comfortable doing it. I mean, I know what I'm doing as long as I know it's the neutron star, not a white dwarf, which I've managed to nearly kill myself on twice so far. Then yeah, I'm fairly comfortable with it. It's still a bit of an adrenaline rush though, because it is scary. It gives me this weird kind of agoraphobic feeling, which I think I do suffer from anyway, agoraphobia. But it's good, it's a good little trick, and although it seems quite risky, I think the more you do it, the more you get used to it. I mean, I'm probably going to do this for a couple of weeks and I'll be blasé about it. But at the moment, it's still quite an exciting thing to do. It's just that trepidation as you start to go into the plume, and you just think, is it going to work? Is it not going to
Scanning
work?
now.
Is it going to kick me? Is it going to kill me?
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Oops. Fell out at cone. There it is.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive boost activated.
Yeah, I got when I did a White Dwarf tail cone entry, it just overhit me and then just kicked me straight out of Super Cruise. I maybe wasn't doing it right. Is there a difference? Does it give you a bigger boost or?
Compiling data for cartography.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. activated.
Unless it was, so it's not really worth it then. Unless you're a thrill seeker.
Scanning.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift boost activated.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
So rule of thumb I'm going to do for this trip then is if I'm going to use the neutron boost to do the unthinkable and turn this journey
for
into
information.
we'll reduce this journey's duration by quarter to a quarter. What I'll do is I'll make sure that every time I get down to roughly half a tank of fuel, if I haven't seen anything, or if I haven't seen a yellow star by that point, I'll have a look at the map just to see what's coming up, and I'll make sure that I know where I am.
Boost activated.
Scanning.
activated.
Oh. So it's not really worth the risk then for the white dwarfs, is it? There's higher risk for less benefit. Double boost. Now you're taking the piss. Explain.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
Creation drive operating beyond safety limits. Boost activated.
Oh wow. That's just taking the piss. That'll take some targeting. Some faff.
Gathering information. Cartography updated.
I don't know, there doesn't seem to be that much heat in here. I mean, when I go into the thing, it doesn't really increase my temperature at all.
Creation drive operating beyond safety limits. Boost activated.
See, look, it didn't change from 28 degrees. Whole time I was in there. Is there anything worth landing on in this system?
Scanning for information.
If there's anything in this system I can land on, I'm going to land on it. I'm going to call it a night tonight, guys. Nothing. So I'm not calling it a night here then. Can't tell me colour whether the star changed colour. Don't know. Yep. I know, I just need to find something to land on, then I'm calling it a night. I'm just enjoying this neutron star thing far too much.
Scanning now.
Ah.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift boost activated.
I can imagine it would be worse than a small ship. Actually, I couldn't. I mean, that's the thing I didn't know, because obviously I've only ever done it in the Asp and this. And they're much kind of the same size, so...
Scanning.
Interesting to try it in a Sidewinder. I bet that would be freaky as hell.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive boost activated.
Compiling data for cartography.
Ah, a landing place. I will land, I think. Ooh, Demon Planet. If I boost, overcharge the drive, is there any risk of keeping it overcharged while I offline? I sure it doesn't tax anything or threaten to break something. 2,000 credits a ton smuggling tobacco. Ooh, nice.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety
Well, let's find out.
Frameshift drive boost activated.
Doesn't cost anything to do it, so let's see. Well, it shows it on the jump range. The jump range there is on 15.72 light years. So that's my hint. If I drop out of Super Cruise and then land and then have a look, or even do it while I'm landing, have a look at that panel and see if it's retained it. And then when I log in next time I can check.
That's affirmative, Commander.
Yep, PC. I done a PC, man. And hello there, Pixel Edged. How are you doing this evening? Again, some very nice textures here. Looking much more interesting than they have before. Yep, still got the jump range. And there we are. Another mission, another evening. We have discussed the awesomeness that will be Sunday evenings of streaming, or Sunday afternoons of streaming the Ellite Encounters RPG with the amazing Chaos Dispenser, other buttons, DJ Truthsayer, Simon, I have no idea what his online name is or whether that even is his online name, Malik VR, Benjamin Blaze, and me, obviously. And we've discussed
Dark Offline.
the awesome Colin Ford and his new website, the WTRB.com website. Woohoo. Good stuff in it. And we've discovered the amazing properties of neutron stars and how they can cut your journey down by a quarter or to a quarter of where it was before. And we're going to take a screenshot. I'm going to see if I can get the neutron star in what it looks like at this kind of distance. If I can see it even. I think that could be over there in the centre there. You can't really see it. Well, it's quite a densely packed area of space in terms of stars as well, so the sun's coming from over there, so yeah, I think it's that one there, that one in the centre with a little halo around it. So that's the sun. God, look at the state of that eagle. Look at the state of that rank insignia. Maybe just as well use the neutron boost and get to Colonia quicker than otherwise, because I'm starting to look a bit worse for wear. Anyway, that's us for another evening, people. Thank you for joining me. It's been awesome having you around for the ride again tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I'll be back again this weekend. So as I say, I'll pop the poster back on again. For the Ellite Encounters RPG session, the Ascended campaign run by Chaos Dispenser. It'll be broadcast live on Sunday from 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. And it'll be broadcast live on twitch.tv/DJ Truthsayer. He's organising the stream content for it. I think Chaos Dispenser's streaming it as well, but I'm not entirely sure at this point, so I'm just going to say tune into DJ Truthsayer's channel at about 1 o'clock UK time, which is what 9 AM EST is at the moment. Have I spelled sovereignty right there as well? I can't remember. No, I'll work it out. I don't think I have. I haven't, have I? Oops, oh well, never mind. But yes, that's what's going on this Sunday. So I'll be streaming. I won't be streaming, but I'll be on stream with DJ Truthsayer. I'll be hosting his stream on my Twitch channel as well during the game, and we will be playing live for about 4 hours altogether. We're starting at sort of 1 PM UK time here, and then finishing at about 5, depending on what happens. We'll be taking about a 5-minute break every hour just to try and make sure we don't all seize up or something. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you don't make it for that, then hopefully you'll make it back for next week's Monday night stream. Where we'll be doing more of the same. We'll be doing some neutron scooping, some cone charging, and then heading off, continuing the journey to Colonia, which we've just cut down a hell of a lot. Might actually get there by the end of the month, believe it or not. what dice rolling system is being used. Why? It's the one based in Elite Encounters, obviously. D6s, as specified in the rulebook for Elite Encounters. So, yeah. So that's it, peeps. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves this evening, and I hope you have a great week. If you don't have a great week, I'll come round your house and smack you with a wet fish. Take care, everyone, and have a great week.